You probably heard some people say that inflation is needed. We need a little bit of inflation because without inflation, there will be economic collapse. Demand will just go down, right? So we need 2% of inflation so that uh, it would sustain demand. Because if people think that prices will go down, that there will be deflation, they will just stop buying stuff. Now, if prices going up by 2% is great, why not 4%? 4% must be twice as good, right? Or why not 8% or 10%? They should be even better than 2%. But let's put that aside for a second. If deflation is really bad because people are just going to stop buying stuff, that's in complete contradiction to the supply and demand curve. When price goes down, the demand, quantity demanded goes up. That's the basics of economics. Now, this idea of the debt spiral is also in complete contradiction to that because it basically says that when prices go down, companies won't be able to pay their debt. The assumption is that when the prices go down, people are not going to buy stuff because they're just going to be waiting for a better deal. So then companies don't make money. So now they can't pay their debt back. But again, that all stems from this idea that when prices go down, demand goes down, which we know is not true. Because again, that's in contradiction to the supply and demand curve. It's in contradiction to your own experience. You know that when prices go down, you buy more stuff. You're more likely to buy stuff. When prices are higher, you're less likely to buy those stuff. So you know that deep down. To believe that we have this debt spiral assumes that when prices go down, people don't buy stuff. So then companies don't make money, so they can't pay up their debt. But if we do step back, if we do rely on the basics of economics, which is the supply and demand curve, then we realize that when prices go down, actually companies make more money because they can sell more stuff. Think about cell phones. In the 1980s, cell phones existed, but nobody bought them because it was too expensive. When price of cell phones went down, more people bought it. So when more people bought cell phones, companies made more money. Apple became the biggest company in the history of the world for a long time. Why? Because they sold iPhones, right? Uh, a lot of companies made cell phones in the 1980s. They didn't make much money from it. It was a small part of their business. But once prices went down, once they were able to produce these cell phones more efficiently, or computers for that matter, or any electronics that you can think of, once they were able to produce them more efficiently, then prices went down and those companies became the biggest companies in the world and the richest ones. So when prices go down, companies sell more, so they make more profit. So it's actually easier for them to pay the debt, not more difficult. And if there is deflation, actually the lenders also benefit because they're getting more valuable dollars back. Because when prices go down, it means that your dollar is now more valuable. So if you lend out $1 million to a company and they give you back $1 million, if there's deflation, that $1 million that they give you back, you can buy more stuff with it. So the lender actually benefits. They get more valuable dollars than they lend it out. So deflation, this idea which started from Fisher, 1936, this idea is based on the premise that when prices go down, companies make less money because they sell less stuff, which, as we said, most importantly, is in complete contradiction to the basics of economics, which is the law of supply and demand. And law of supply and demand is called a law for a reason. It's not a theory, it's a law. It's kind of like the law of gravity. It exists whether you believe in it or not. So you need to keep that in mind the next time you hear this term, the debt spiral, which sounds very scary, but it's just built on the false premise that when prices go down, when there's deflation, that leads to less demand.